Audio check 1 2 3. Audio testing 1 2 3. Audio check 1 2 3. Audio testing 1 2 3. Perfect.
numbers of on the field. That would be smart. I think there's seniors. Jimmy, see this Jimmy in the white over here?
Yeah.
The bald guy in the white? Zoom in. Yeah. Just kind of follow him. Him and Charlie in the green, see him? Follow those two around. They're the ones going to be giving out the awards. So if you just keep it on them, Luke will give us commentary and you should be good. Let's see if...
The Georgia College Department of Athletics would like to recognize 3 special members of the 2019 Bobcat soccer team for their dedication and effort toward the soccer program over the last 4 years. First up,
Hello and welcome into the Bobcat Broadcast Network. I'm Luke Winstall. Thank you all for tuning in. We're joining you a few minutes early here for the Senior Day presentation honoring 3 Georgia College seniors here over the Stadium PA. They are honoring our 3 seniors. I'll tell you what they're saying as we go here. So first off, the first senior being honored, Bailey Munnerlin. She's a native of Evans, Georgia, and has been a vital part of the Bobcat soccer program, seeing action in 13 games while battling injuries. She was named to the 2018 and 19 Peach Belt Conference Bronze Scholar List. As a public health major, Bailey plans to attend nursing school back home at Augusta University. She's escorted today by her parents, Elise and Jeff Munnerlin. You see her at midfield. Now the second senior here for Georgia College, a native of Couva, Trinidad. Renee has seen action in 24 matches in her career, including 6 total starts. She is a 3-time Peach Belt Conference Scholar Athlete. Renee plans to return home and pursue her master's in business administration at the Arthur Lockjack School of Business. She is escorted today by her parents, Maria and Clifford Mike. She's being honored there at midfield now.
Ladies and gentlemen, number 3, Renee Mike.
And the next senior for Georgia College is Aaron Ferris. Ferris is a native of Atlanta, Georgia. Played 3 seasons for the Bobcats after transferring in from Armstrong State University. She's seen action in 53 matches, starting 48 games, including all 16 matches thus far this season. She's a 3-time member of the Peach Belt Conference All-Academic Team. She has 5 assists in her Bobcat career and scored a goal against USC Aiken in 2017. USC Aiken is Georgia College's opponent today. As a marketing major, Erin plans to move back to Atlanta and pursue jobs in the marketing and communications field. Erin is accompanied today by her father, Aaron Ferris, her mother, Amy Cook, and her brother, Brandon McNeil. Now Erin gets some hugs there at midfield. And the 3 seniors here have been honored at Georgia College. They've got the numbers of all 3 seniors back on midfield on the near side of the field that you'll see as we show you the action here today. They'll be taking a picture as they do that. We'll take a break. We've got about 4 minutes until kickoff here. We'll rejoin you for our pregame show momentarily.
All right, how about another round of applause for your Bobcat seniors?
Cody, go ahead and zoom out just a little bit, just kind of get out of this right here. Yeah, okay.
Just keep up with the ball.
Yeah. You level here?
I can re-level it, but this is the one without fluid in it.
Yeah. Kind of line it up with the fence and try to level it on the top of the fence. Like, just, it's going to have to be right in front of you, though. So, right zoom in a little bit, and then use the top of the fence like as your bottom, on the bottom of your.
Promotes good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner. Profanity, racial, or sexist comments or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated or grounds for immediate. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Bobcat Field on the campus of Georgia College for today's Senior Day matchup. Today's Peach Belt Conference contest features the Usc Aiken Pacers and your Georgia College Bobcats. Let's meet the starting lineups for both teams. We'll start first with the visiting Pacers. Number 0, Maddy Banks. Number 6, Marianne Ross. Number 9, Mia Moppin.
Yep, that's what I'm doing.
Number 10, Tashiana Kwatowski.
Yep, got it.
Number 12, Yasmin Vanden Bosch.
Welcome back into the Bobcat Broadcast Network. I'm Luke Winstall. Thank you all for tuning in. We've got the starting lineups here for you as they take the field here at Bobcat Field on the campus of Georgia College and State University. First off, for USC Aiken, in goal, Maddy Banks. She has been spectacular this season. Also, Marianne Ross, Mia Moppin, Tatiana Kwatowski, Yasmin Vanden Bosch, Willa Olson, Erica Bateman, Gressa Olson, Marissa Lee, Amanda Raleigh, and Georgia Fisher. For Georgia College, starting lineup is nothing new, nothing abnormal for them. In goal, Kate Richardson. In the field, Summer Ligon, Brooke Adams, Erin Ferris, Kai Jeffries, Cassie Balzano, Sophia Bonser, Alyssa Bergamini, Lydia Atkinson, Alexis Bergamini, Kayla Ruiz, and again in goal, Kate Richardson. We thank you all for tuning in as the teams are taking the field here, getting ready with the starting lineups. In terms of a preview for each squad, Georgia College comes in with a 5-9-2 record. They're 4-5-1 in the Peach Belt Conference. They are tied for 6th place currently with 13 points in the conference. At stake today for Georgia College is a playoff spot. If they win, they clinch. If they lose, there's a chance they could fall outside the top 8 all the way down to the number 10 spot. Should that happen, Georgia College would not make the playoffs, the conference tournament. Now, some key players to watch for Georgia College. Anyone that has watched the team knows that Cassie Balzano has been a standout all season long. She has scored 9 goals and 3 assists. Alyssa Bergamini has 4 goals and 2 assists. And in goal, Kate Richardson, as a freshman, has been spectacular with a 1.59 goals allowed average. She has a 69% save percentage, 52 saves on the year, and has played almost 1,400 minutes thus far. Nearly every minute in goal, but in some blowout games, she's gotten a little bit of relief from backup freshman keeper Haley Titus. Now for USC Aiken, they're 3-11-1 overall, 3-6-1 in the Peach Belt Conference play. Some key players to watch for them: Gressa Olson, who has 5 goals and 1 assist. Willa Olson with 4 goals and 2 assists. And in goal, Maddy Banks, a 2.8 goals allowed average. That's not the greatest number, but she does have 65 saves and has been a very key player for her team. Now, with it being senior day, Georgia College has one of their seniors, Renee Mike, being from Trinidad and Tobago. They'll play the national anthem of Trinidad and Tobago. Following that, they'll have the American national anthem, and we will rejoin you after that. Thank you all for tuning in on the Bobcat Broadcast Network.
It's so much cooler sounding when the American national anthem.
7:01.
So make sure you head to the market
We don't want to
table.
resume
Guess who's
that.
going to score the first goal for Georgia College? And you could be a winner of a free sandwich at from our friends at Stack Sandwiches and More on North Columbia Street. More Stack Sandwiches owned by now Georgia College Athletics Hall of Famer Mandy Chandler-Sabilski. Also want to remind you, we got the sports marketing.
Welcome back into the Bobcat Broadcast Network. I am Luke Winstill. Thank you all for tuning in. We are set for kickoff right here between USC Aiken and the Georgia College Bobcats here at Bobcat Field on the campus of Georgia College and State University in Milledgeville, Georgia. It's a cool evening here. We've told you our starters, given you our previews here. Some notes to begin overall. In general, Georgia College in the all-time series against USC Aiken leads 10-3-2. So 10 wins for Georgia College compared to 3 wins for USC Aiken. These two teams have tied twice. This does have major implications here in the Peach Belt Conference. Georgia College currently 7th in conference play, fighting for a playoff spot. If they win, they're in. They don't need any help. For USC Aiken, they need a win. They need a little bit of help, too. They are in 9th in the conference. They need to jump up to 8th or better to get a playoff spot here. A lot on the line here from Bobcat Stadium. Both teams are huddled on their respective sides of the field. For USC Aiken, they are coached by Hillary George in her 5th year. She has a 19-60-3 overall record to this date as a head coach. She is 13-37-2 in conference play. Not a great record, but last year, the highlight of the season for USC Aiken was knocking off Georgia College 5-4 at home on their senior day. It's a big win for their team. It was a come-from-behind win. Georgia College went up 3-0 in the first half. For most teams, that is an insurmountable deficit. For USC Aiken, they're able to come back, get the win, when right at the end of the game, off of a goal coming very close to the end. Now for Georgia College in that game, obviously wasn't their best moment, but Cassie Belzano, as a sophomore, did score a goal. She played the majority of that game. She is out here now and will lead Georgia College as a junior leader of the team. She's been a 3-time Bobcat Athlete of the Week. She is 6th in the Peach Belt in terms of scoring with 9 goals. USC Aiken gets things going. Georgia College now possesses in their midfield. On the ball is Summer Ligon. Ligon for Georgia College has been a great two-way midfielder. She's also a freshman who has contributed to the team. You see here on senior day with Georgia College, they've only got 3 seniors. Means they've got a lot of underclassmen playing, obviously. Had double-figure newcomers coming in here between freshmen and transfers. It's been a big factor for their team. We've got our early throw in here for USC Aiken. When you look at their records under Coach George, they haven't been fantastic, but they've been able to pull off some upset wins, win in some key times. As you saw there with the Georgia College win a season ago that I told you about. Trying to pull another upset here. Aiken on the attack near the 18-yard box. The ball is one away on the near side. It's a nice play there from Kayla Ruiz of Georgia College. Now Alyssa Bergamini coming off of a game in which she scored 1 goal. Her twin sister scored a pair. It was all in the first 41 minutes of that match. The Bergamini sisters are coming in hot. Nice tackle there made in the midfield by Ross of Aiken. USC Aiken's mascot is Ace the Pacer. So they go by the Pacers. Ball is at midfield. Alexis Bergamini wins it away. Belzano touched it forward. Backtracking there is Raleigh. Ball out of bounds off of Georgia College. Ball kicked out of bounds. Georgia College throw in. As you look up top for the Bobcats, things look a little bit different than the last home game and the last home stretch back that we had in October. Now here in November especially, we've seen Alexis Bergamini in the starting lineup. We've seen Kia Jacobs out of the lineup. I like that. I think either way, I think Jacobs and Bergamini are interchangeable sparks off of the bench. I think you're going to get a lot from them whether you start or bench them. It's Georgia College just having some good options up at forward. But Bergamini has been the hot hand. She's getting this start. It pushes Cassie Belzano up top. You've got a Bergamini on each wing. Right now you see Belzano on the left side. She's shifted over trying to make a run for this ball. Belzano wins the foot race. Now cleared away. Jeffries rushed up for that ball. Vanden Bosch has it on the left side. But up top, I am intrigued for Georgia College by that attack. You've got a lot of speed on each wing. Usually with Balzano, you get more clinical finishing and technical skills than you would speed. Not to say that she's not fast, but the Bergaminis are kind of a different level of speed. At a lot of pace on the ball, you're seeing Alexis Bergamini here work down the right sideline. Now she'll take a throw in for Georgia College. You have those two. You have the finishing from Balzano. Those are your three top scorers for the most part. And then Kia Jacobs coming off the bench. Ball into Balzano. Maddy Banks will come out and snag it. But tactically, I like that. Yeah, Jacobs off the bench is a good option. She has been able to score a little bit this season, but the playmaking is really where she brings value, which I think plays very well in the role that she'll be playing here tonight. I think also, I don't know it for confirmed fact, but I assume we'll, on Senior Day, see our other two seniors that were not in the starting lineup. Bailey Munnerlin, Renee Mike. Sometimes you'll see the seniors will start on Senior Day, or at least play a little bit at the beginning. We're not seeing that here, and I assume we'll see them come in as a factor off the bench as well. That'll be good. We haven't seen too much of Munnerlin and Mike yet this year. I'll be fascinated to see what they can do. Alexis Bergamini made a nice move there on the left sideline. She touched it out of bounds. Now a throw-in coming for Lee. Bonser in the midfield. For Georgia College, a lot of times in the midfield, we've either seen Sophia Bonser or Brooke Adams. Now we're seeing both of them. Just another change there in the lineup. I think for Georgia College, some of these lineup changes. As that ball is played into the 18. We welcome you all back into the Bobcat Broadcast Network. Bergamini making a run on a breakaway in the 18. Maddy Banks will save it. A diving save. She came about 15 yards off of her line to make that play. Again, welcome back into the Bobcat Broadcast Network. Sorry for those technical difficulties there. We apologize. Richardson punts it away. It was Bergamini for Georgia College who had a great breakaway run. She's trying to put the ball away in the corner, but Maddy Banks came off of her line, made it a tough angle. Alexis Bergamini couldn't connect with Balzano up top. Banks has it in her hands again. But before the camera cut out, he's talking about a couple of good possessions up top in the attacking third from USC Aiken. They'll be led by the two Olsons, Gressa number 16 and Willa number 13. Keep your eye out on those two of their top scorers. Dangerous play there. It was good by Jeffries to use her body to shield that ball. Jeffries drew a defender towards her. Now the ball's played for Bergamini on the left sideline. She lost possession. Now Lee has it. Kayla Ruiz looking to get involved in the attack. It's played up to her. Maupin got in the way of that ball. Maupin to Olsen. Now Ross knocks it up the field. Richardson keeps it away from Vanden Bosch. Richardson punts it away again. We're nearly 10 minutes into the match. Both teams have had one or two really nice opportunities. Georgia College looking to generate another. Adams touches it over to the sideline and gets it back. Left-footed shot, over and wide. Now another star freshman goalkeeper, Maddy Banks, will kick it away. She's likely to be a cornerstone of the USC Aiken program for years to come. Stats don't quite show it yet, but she's had some very big-time performances. Was the Peach Belt goalkeeper of the week very recently. It was a big deal for Banks. It's been kind of a stepping stone season. She hasn't had the best back line to help her out. I think as USC Aiken continues to improve as a team, as they continue to build. So I think this has been a little bit of a building year for them. As they build up what they've got, they will give her kind of a little bit of a better line to work with. She won't see quite as many quality looks, and that will help. But we've seen flashes from Banks that really show that she can be something, especially in the Peach Belt Conference. She can be one of the top 3 or 4 goalkeepers by the time it's all said and done. Part of that because of the experience that she's able to get so young in her career. Georgia College playing in some nice space out there. You see a gap in between the back line and the midfield. Georgia College has already gotten off a couple of longer shots. There's another one. Banks will punt it away. But if that space remains there and Georgia College is able to play in it, they'll get better and better opportunities throughout the match. I'd say to keep an eye on that. That's key because you didn't see on a couple of shots there from Georgia College very much urgency closing out on those shots about 20, 25 yards away. Ruiz trying to make a run down the left side. She commits a foul. And now taking the free kick is Marissa Lee, a junior forward. Erin Ferris wins a header out of the air. Forces Bateman to sprint back and play it to her keeper. Vanden Bosch tripped up by Ferris. A free kick right at midfield here for USC Aiken.
Hey, Cody, that's probably a little bit too close if you're the only camera.
Okay. Leave it like,
Yeah, right there.
that's good. And just follow it that way.
Foul called on Aiken. Now the Bobcats will get a free kick about 20 yards off of their own end line. Richardson taking the goal kick here. Or I'm sorry, taking the free kick. Or no, she'll pass the ball up. Looks like Ferris will take the free kick. Ferris, the only senior in the starting lineup for Georgia College. Only starter being honored today. There's two ways to look at it. First off, well, now we've got an attack here from Olsen. She's fighting with Jeffries. We've got a foul called, and it's going to be a free kick here for Aiken. Jeffries is down. If it helps, yeah, for sure. Now we've got Jeffries down, getting some treatment on the field. She had decent body position there. I think they're going to call, I mean, they did call the foul on her. My assumption would be that she hooked Olsen a little bit there in that battle. I'm going to say Jacobs probably didn't get enough ball and got a little bit too much of Olsen. The right idea from Jeffries there on that play. She'll now exit on the near side of the field, it seems. And she has. She's come off, now standing next to the assistant referee. Georgia College will want her back in as soon as they can. She walked off under her own power. Seems to be all right, as she has not gone over to her bench to get any more treatment. So we can assume that is a good sign. Olsen on the free kick, plays it right to the penalty spot. Vanden Bosch got a touch on it. The ball comes out, deflects off of a Georgia College player. Now will be sent upfield. Ball served back in again, a couple of collisions. The ball dances over past the end line. It's a goal kick here for Richardson. Richardson is one of two Georgia College players to be on the leaderboard in the top 10 in any statistical category. Cassie Belzano is in a good portion of the offensive leaderboards, and for Richardson, as a goalkeeper, she is 7th in saves with 52. In goals against average, she is 9th with 1.59. And the Peach Belt Conference, there's 12 teams in that conference. You have to have played majority of the games to register to be on that stat board. Richardson's off to a solid start. You see both teams now 15 minutes in, holding a shutout. Aiken getting some good possession going here. A side note, just on the injury there, Jeffries is back in for Georgia College. It's a good sign. She resumes and gets back to her place at the left center back position. She was a preseason all-conference player. So all Bobcat fans, supporters, alumni, everybody tuning in is very happy to see that. Bergamini hits it ahead. Touched heavy. Banks will control it. That ball's off on Bergamini. Throw in for Aiken. Ruiz has plenty of options. Pass was a bit errant there, looking for Bergamini. Now Georgia College with Cassie Belzano playing it ahead to the top of the 18. Shot comes on from Bergamini. Great save from Banks. A spectacular dive to her right. Ball comes back in. Belzano touches it with her head. Banks again will secure it. Solid play there from Maddy Banks, the goalkeeper that I've been talking about thus far on our broadcast. Coach George for USC Aiken was very encouraged when they signed her. But Banks will get a heavy workload tonight. We've seen it thus far. You will see it throughout the match. Georgia College has already put 4 shots on her. They're going to test her all night long. Sometimes for Georgia College this season, it's going to be a handball on Kayla Ruiz. free kick here. Georgia College retreating deeper into their territory. Aiken will have a chance here to reach the attacking third on this free kick here, coming from Erica Bateman. But for Georgia College, sometimes this season offensively, they've had a hard time getting going because they haven't been testing the goalkeeper, haven't been testing a keeper like Banks, especially a young one. They've had a hard time holding the ball, getting numbers up the field, and trying to put a good shot on the goalkeeper early in games. But they've been doing that here today. It's a recipe for success for this team. That's why they've been looking pretty solid thus far. Balzano to Bergamini. For Georgia College, it's not too hard to try to transition forward. Balzano is very good technically. Now Aiken moving forward. Maupin. Ruiz wins it away. Now here's Bergamini. The Twins connect. Ruiz getting involved on the left side. There's Balzano showing the skills. She tried to find a gap there for Erin Ferris on the right side. For Georgia College, when they get into an offensive rhythm, their outside backs, Erin Ferris and Kayla Ruiz, have no problem scooting up the field, getting really involved. When GC is putting shots on early, those two especially feel a lot more comfortable, as you would expect, getting up the field and getting involved, trying to push 8 players up into the attack at times. Manella, Page, DeAugustine, and one more come in for Aiken. And for Georgia College, Becca Morris into the match. You see her on the ball right now. Morris knocked it ahead with her left foot, wide left of the goal. It's a solid defensive effort there. Looked like it came from Bateman, keeping Morris off getting a good shot. Usually we do see a good bit of Morris. She started pretty much every match this year, but not this one. Georgia College started Brooke Adams and Sophia Bonser, both in favor of Morris and one of those two. Balzano plays it across the field. Ferris wins that ball away. Ferris on a run to the center of the field. Becca Morris gets a touch on it. 17 yards from goal, has her shot blocked. Morris, and now it's scooped up by Banks. With Becca Morris on the field, you may have been sensing that excitement from the fan base here at Georgia College. The home fans know if you're within 25 yards, you are within Becca Morris's shooting range. So every time she gets a touch on the ball, she tends to like it on the left side. If she can get a touch on the ball, we've seen her score from even 30, 35 yards out. Got a very, very strong leg. One of the strongest legs for anyone in this conference on this level. We've seen it be very accurate sometimes. A lot of the time. Alexis Bergamini holding it up top, now playing her sister on the right side. Alyssa Bergamini called for the offsides. About a step ahead of the last defender. And that ball was played. Now Banks will get the free kick for USC Aiken. We're 20 minutes in now. But what I was getting at with Georgia College, something to look out for. They're playing a team that has a defense that has not been the best. And they're going to try to counter pretty quickly. I think that's part of why you have the 2 Bergaminis on each wing. Balzano just has to hold the ball up for a couple of seconds. Then those two give her options. Her left back and her right back get up the field really well. So you've got a lot of mobile players outside for Balzano or whoever in the midfield like Morris or Ligon. Whoever's holding up the ball, they've got good options. GC can get up the field fast. And I think that especially plays to their advantage from what we've seen in the first 20 and a half minutes of the first half. Ball comes out of bounds on the near touchline. Here's Bergamini. Balzano, loads of space. Balzano potentially looking to play in Morris there. Couldn't quite tell if it was an intended pass or shot. Regardless, it was blocked, and now Aiken breaking past the midfield line. Ruiz fell over. It prevented Simone from getting to that ball. Now Georgia College on it with Morris playing a long ball. Bergamini off to the races on the left sideline. Played in for Balzano. She gets a touch on it, rifles a shot up into the air. Maddy Banks will watch it bounce into her arms. Well, getting Balzano space, enough space for her to just take 1 or 2 touches, makes her absolutely lethal. Georgia College was shut out in 4 consecutive matches in conference play, just a period a couple of weeks ago. In that stretch, you had teams key in and lock down on Balzano, close out as soon as she got the ball. We've not seen her get that kind of attention here from USC Aiken. Because of that, she's been able to get a pair of shots off. Neither of them incredibly accurate. But as we go, that could prove to be something dangerous. Georgia College owning it thus far. Ball sent in there, and Richardson will dive on it. In the area was Charlotte Manella, a substitution for USC Aiken, who's playing up top for them, playing as a left winger. She came in for Vanden Bosch. The ball's headed over on the near sideline. Bergamini with a nice turn on the left sideline. She switches it back. Ruiz turns it over. Georgia College now switching their point of attack. Ferris trying to work by Lee on the the right side. It's going to be a throw in for Georgia College. Balzano setting up Bergamini well. The ball comes across. Banks picks it up. Banks has been active, been very assertive, and has gotten off her line very well. There's actually one note that her coach said about her. Coach George said she brings good leadership, a nice calming presence, commands her back line well. Now here's Ruiz on the left side. He beats one defender, couldn't get by the second. Atkinson. Now Ferris again. Georgia College has done a nice job, first off, possessing the ball. We're more than halfway through the first half. Now Bergamini in the right corner. Advancing, Alyssa Bergamini, past Maddy Banks into the net. Georgia College takes a 1-0 lead. The Bobcats go ahead off of a spectacular side shot from Bergamini. On the right side of the goal, Aiken was expecting her to cross it to her sister. And Alyssa Bergamini scores her 5th goal of the year. That's her 9th of her career. The assist goes to Cassie Balzano. That will be her 22nd points of the year. In terms of points, Balzano is in the top 10 in the Peach Belt Conference. Not surprising. It's a preseason all-conference selection. She has been the catalyst of the offense, not just tonight, but throughout the entire season, also in her career as well. Looked like Ruiz and Bergamini may not have quite been on the same page there. Ruiz trying to play a ball in for Bergamini. Alexis Bergamini, I think, knew she either would have been potentially offsides should she have gone for that ball, or the ball was just a bit heavy. Now here's Alexis Bergamini in pursuit. Maddy Banks has it again. But before that goal was scored for Georgia College, I was talking about they've done well in possession, but you see there's USC Aiken. They had possession, but just for a few seconds there, and it's because Georgia College has done a good job kind of keeping the field tight. Anytime Aiken possesses, Georgia College is getting it right back. They're winning the balls in the midfield. They've really constricted the offense of USC Aiken. They haven't been able to get out of their own half very much in the first half, and that's a good part of why the majority of the conversation thus far has been about Georgia College. Sophia Bonser with a left-footed shot wide of the goal. It'll be a USC Aiken goal kick. But Georgia College just keeps going and going. They've already got 10 shots on. We have 18 and a half minutes to play in the first half. They've got 10 shots. About half of them on frame. They have scored 1 goal thus far. The ball over the top for Bergamini. She's in a foot race, wins the ball. Bergamini tripped up in the penalty area. The referee says play on. That call is not popular with our crowd here at Bobcat Field. Regan winning it in the midfield. Morris will officially take it away for Georgia College. There's that midfield defense that I was talking about. Georgia College winning those balls there, not even allowing Aiken really to get involved and evolve their offense into the attacking third. Aiken's only gotten 2 shots on thus far. I'm sorry, gotten 2 shots off, I should say. Alexis Bergamini. Now it's back to Jeffries. Now USC Aiken does come into this game with momentum. They tied Georgia Southwestern 0-0 on Saturday. It was the team's first tie of the year. Maddy Banks in goal, played all 110 minutes and secured 8 saves on her way to a shutout. The Pacers now bring in Regan Buchanan, freshman midfielder, but she'll come in on the back line. Out of the match comes Erica Bateman. Buchanan's coming in at right back, it looks like. Maybe looking to add a little bit more to the attack and get upfield. Might be the reason for the substitution there. So Aiken really, USC Aiken I should say, has not really been able to get much. In terms of possession, they've not really strung together many passes on multiple occasions. Alexis Bergamini up top to Balzano. Nice move playing it into the 18. Now Alyssa Bergamini, another tight angle saved by Banks. Kept in bounds, now knocked out by USC Aiken, just trying to get clearance on that play. Ferris will take a throw in. You see there, USC Aiken winning the ball away, but they're not retaining it. It just goes right back to Georgia College. It's kicked out or kicked to Georgia College's back line, or Kate Richardson's able to secure the ball off of a goal kick or just a long ball. There's a ball up for Olsen. USC Aiken does not have many numbers here in this attack. They go down the left sideline with Olsen. Jeffries pokes it out of bounds. Now a throw in.
Match for USC Aiken, number 22, Kennedy Smith.
Kennedy Smith has come back into the match for USC Aiken. Junior midfielder. This is her 11th match played. She started 7 of those. Now Richardson has it for Georgia College. I have to wonder, though, that urgency from Olsen on the attack might just be her trying to take advantage on a counter of Georgia College just because her team wasn't forward and looked like she would have a tough time holding the ball up there, because Georgia College has done a nice job collapsing in on Olsen up top as soon as she's gotten the ball, especially with your experienced center backs of Atkinson and Jeffries. So you see urgency in their attack, which is not always a great thing in the first half of a game, but it'll be interesting to see offensively what they do. Now Ferris moving forward for Georgia College. I think it's a point in the game where if you're on the USC Aiken side, you kind of tell your team to settle a little bit, and maybe you want to build out of the back. Start on your back line, get some possession, settle the game down. You're only down 1-0. Georgia College has outshot them 11-2, so it's a bit of domination in that category. Possession maybe close to or at 70-30. But I think for Aiken, if you settle things down, you have a very good shot to get back in the game. They are a very good team. The Olsens up top are very, very talented. I have not talked enough about them yet. Ruiz making a nice move. The ball will be cleared away. Out of bounds, Georgia College throw in. Well done by Ferris to win that ball for her team. Bergamini taking her time with it. Bergamini looking up top for Balzano. Raleigh would shield Balzano off of that ball, and Maddy Banks again has a chance to punt it away. When I talk about building out of the back, I think one thing that maybe USC Aiken could do to try to settle and get a little more possession, instead of punting it into the midfield where Georgia College has won the majority, maybe the vast majority of those balls, roll it out to your left or right back. Kind of let your team build that way. I'd be interested to see what strategy USC Aiken will take going forward, especially after this substitution, as they're taking out Willa Olsen, who started 14 games and scored 4 goals. She's second on her team in points. She is being taken off the field here.
The match for the Pacers, number 18, Summer Ricciardi, and number 20, Lauren Lasley.
Summer Ricciardi and Lauren Lasley both come on the field. Both of them have played in double-figure matches thus far. Lasley from Woodbridge, Virginia. Ricciardi from Charleston, South Carolina. We've got a shade over 11.5 minutes to play in the half. Georgia College leads 1-0 off of an Alyssa Bergamini goal, her 5th of the year, again her 9th career. Aiken holding nice possession there, but great pressure from Alexis Bergamini, forcing that ball in, or forcing that ball to be played in a little quicker than Ross would have liked to. After Richardson secures it, she punts it away. You see Balzano there rushing to close out. It forces a throw in for Georgia College. Up top, GC has done a nice job coming out with energy, applying pressure. Alexis Bergamini comes off the field now.
Into the match for the Bobcats, number 10, Ryan Smith.
Now Ryan Smith has come into the match for Georgia College. She'll look to keep that energy up on the top line for Georgia College because they've added that pressure that has made them so successful. Balzano has it on her right foot, tried to play it over. It looked like Bergamini was in the area. Summer Ligon, I think, also was in the area. Becca Morris might have committed a handball there that went uncalled. The center referee would not have been able to see it. It would have been up to the AR to raise his flag and try to make the center ref aware of the call, but that did not happen. From my vantage point, it did look like it hit Becca Morris's hand. Ryan Smith has an opportunity in the corner. She plays it in at the last second. Banks will have to make a play, and she does. Maddy Banks with under 10 minutes to go in the first half. Atkinson heads it over on the right side. Manila had a chance at it, but Ferris was able to take it away after she missed the header. Balzano threading the needle. Shot comes in. Banks again making another play for Georgia College. That is their 12th shot of the match. 4 times as many shots as USC Aiken. If I had to pick one thing, one stat or storyline to tell you for anyone just tuning in how the first half has gone, I would point to either the shot category or possession. Those two, I think, explain pretty well what has unfolded thus far. We will have those for you in our halftime show. We encourage you to tune in. Balzano had it taken away at the last second. She is inching closer and closer to getting a very high-quality opportunity. Jeffries looking long. Balzano does well to stay on sides, but her teammate Alyssa Bergamini was just off. The flag goes up on the right side of the field. Now a free kick upcoming for USC Aiken will be taken by Raleigh. Balzano got right under that ball, stayed on sides, made sure the defender was behind her, then she flicked it on. Alyssa Bergamini, a very pacey player, as you've seen tonight. She has displayed a lot of her top skills thus far. She's just a little anxious there, but barely offsides. Sometimes you'll see blatant offsides, but that was a very tight call. Morris a little bit inaccurate on that ball. Now a throw in here for USC Aiken. You have to like what you've seen offensively from Georgia College, but technically there have been a few too many turnovers. The lead could be bigger. Just a little bit of tightening up in terms of skills that they could do that would give them an even bigger advantage. But overall, it's been solid. Ryan Smith playing Ferris in on the right side. Ferris beats Manila. Balzano. It's laid off. Nice move there from Morris. Left-footed shot about 10 yards over the bar. There's Becca Morris again. Very strong leg, about 20 yards away from goal. That's what I pointed out earlier in the game. Balzano and Morris, I think especially, can play in that gap in space between the midfield and a back line that's been a little deep at times for USC Aiken. It's left a gap right at the top of the 18. Sometimes you'll see it, but teams will close out a little quicker than what we've seen. Here's Balzano in that gap, firing on a shot, and Banks will fall on it. You'll see it with other teams, but it's just USC Aiken's not closing out as quickly. And I say that not to criticize, but just to show that that could be a big advantage for Georgia College. Bobcats on the far sideline. Throw in here. Ball played over the top. Looks like Manila who puts a shot on. Testing Kate Richardson. It's actually Lastly, Lauren Lastly, who put that shot on frame. The 4th of the game for USC Aiken. They've gotten a few balls on Richardson. Haven't had very long-winded possessions, but the ones they've had, they've been able to put some shots on goal. That is a credit to them. Nice play from Kayla Ruiz on the left sideline. She beat Sigmone. A nice crafty play. Morris finds Ligon. Ligon making another nice play, but it's turned over at the end of it. We're under 5 minutes to play in the second half of action here from Bobcat Field in Milledgeville, Georgia. Taken away by Sigmone. The ball bounces over to Richardson. One note that I thought was interesting for USC Aiken, they had a lot of stats on their website that I got to dive into, and I very much enjoyed that last night. They have a 9-9-4 all-time record when playing on a Thursday. They have been good on Thursdays. They only trail 1-0 here. The eye test would tell you that it's been a wider margin than the scoreboard would. I would tell you that, but only trailing 1-0, it takes one opportunity. They've been able to generate a few in the past few minutes. Getting pressure here from Lastly. Jacobs takes advantage. I'm sorry, it's Jeffries. Jeffries. And now the ball goes back to Banks. And I incorrectly said Jacobs there, but a note on her, we have not seen her thus far in the match. Got 183 seconds to go. It's played in for Alyssa Bergamini on the left side. A great opportunity. Banks deflects it back. Bergamini puts another shot on just left of the post. Well done by Bergamini. Perfect build up there for Georgia College. The only thing missing was the final product. Bergamini. Now Banks out of Kent Island High School from Queenstown, Maryland. Punting it away again, one in the midfield by Georgia College. Morris trying to send Kayla Ruiz on. Ruiz unable to get open. Balzano was looking for Ferris. Balzano, a nice 1-2 with Bergamini. Played over in the right side corner. Brilliant move. Balzano's shot over the bar. Play over there from the Bobcats coming from Ryan Smith, who subbed in a little past midway through the first half. But she did very well to get that ball into Balzano.
One minute remaining.
Now Smith to Balzano again. Cleared away. Ruiz will get it. Georgia College playing a high line there, a little past midfield with their left and right back normally. Bergamini. Into Balzano, a great opportunity, just over the bar. Balzano, with under 40 seconds left, could have put USC Aiken in a 2-0 ditch. It just grazed over the woodwork. Balzano with 14 seconds in, counting in the first half. Ligon tries to knock it ahead for Bergamini. Banks has it in her possession.
5, 4, 3.
Show punts it away. That concludes the first half of action. We are through 45 minutes. Now into our halftime show. First off, your scoring recap. Georgia College 1, USC Aiken 0. Alyssa Bergamini has the sole goal between the two teams through 45 minutes. Kate Richardson holding a shutout in goal. The stat of the first half, the shooting. Georgia College out shooting USC Aiken 18-5. You do not see that often, but for Georgia College, you've seen it this year, especially in conference play. When they're on, they are absolutely on. They had 2 games in a row earlier this year to begin conference play where they had 30-plus shots in the 2 games. Not combined, but in each game. If you look at that, Georgia College is on pace for well over 30 shots here, on pace for 36, and if they duplicate their production exactly, 2 goals. But overall, I think for Georgia College, they've been very solid. You've heard my thoughts on them throughout the first half. For USC Aiken, I think it's been a very good defensive effort to keep it just down to 1 goal. Only allowing 1 goal off of 18 shots is generally an accomplishment. And for their team, they have kept their back line and their goalkeeper, Maddy Banks, have kept their team in the game. So because of that, they're 1 opportunity away from a tie, 2 away from a win, obviously. They have generated a few. 5 shots in the first half is about average, not bad at all. So in terms of what we saw, Georgia College really owned it in terms of possession, but Aiken has done well to keep it close. They're looking for their 4th conference win of the year. They currently sit 9th in the standings. Looking to move up and potentially move into a playoff spot. Georgia College looking to clinch a playoff spot as they sit 7th in the Peach Belt Conference. They need to finish in the top 8 to make it. We'll rejoin you now in 13 minutes to give you full stats, possession percentages exactly, and everything else you need to know. We thank you all for tuning in on the Bobcat Broadcast Network. This was our halftime show sponsored by Zaxby's. For the USC Aiken offense, I'd like to see Vandenbosch get a little more involved on the left side. It's not her fault. I just don't think she's gotten too many opportunities. I think if she gets a few more touches, I should say, then she'll be able to do something dangerous. Hasn't gotten many opportunities thus far. The ball goes over the bar. Shot from the right side. USC Aiken will make another substitution here. They have not been afraid to go to their bench early and often, showing the depth of the program that they are building.
Number 26, Regan Buchanan.
Now Regan Buchanan, the freshman midfielder, again comes in. She'll be playing it right back as she did when she subbed in the first half.
Let me know what he says. Okay, perfect.
Ball comes out of bounds, well defended by Raleigh, not letting Balzano hold or turn. Ideal play as a defender. Now Balzano winning that battle. Bergamini in the right side corner. Foul called. Foul committed by Lee on Bergamini. Even though Bergamini retained possession, referee elected to not let Georgia College play on. Just wanted to call that foul. He'll now look to count off 10 yards. Summer Ligon is over for Georgia College to take the kick. And when I said earlier in the half that might have had a yellow card on Ferris of Georgia College, that was incorrect. The referee's got a yellow colored whistle that he raises up before he counts off 10 steps. Morris got her head on that ball. But yeah, my apology for the confusion. I thought he was holding up a yellow card because I saw a yellow object in the air. I was incorrect. So I apologize for that. Glad I get to clear that up, but I just noticed it right here on the near side. My bad on that one. Speaking of the referees, they've done a good job keeping the game under control today. Morris turning. Jeffrey is advancing in space in the midfield. Nice ball, Balzano getting behind the back line, looking for a second goal. Balzano puts it away. Georgia College leads 3-0, and a brace for Cassie Balzano as she secures her 11th goal of 2019.
That's a Bobcat goal scored by number 16, Cassie Balzano.
Well, Cassie Balzano last year scored 1 goal against USC Aiken. She outdoes herself here, 60 minutes in, scoring 2 against USC Aiken.
Watson.
Now here's Bergamini advancing, pushed over from behind. Now as they get set, we'll show you that goal again here on the Bobcat Broadcast Network.
We are the coaches of women's basketball.
Nice ball, Balzano getting behind the back line, looking for a second goal. Balzano puts it away. Georgia College leads 3-0. In the back of the net.
Change is constant.
Balzano, 11 goals on the year. She climbs her way up the leaderboard. It's 27 points on the year for her. Free kick from Regan, fairly well placed, but a little too close to Maddy Banks, who's able to get that ball easily. And now USC Aiken looking to play quickly. It's a sense of urgency that we're beginning to see out of the Pacers, and I think we'll continue to see as they trail 3-0. Again, they're no stranger to coming back from 3-0 deficits. Last year they did it against Georgia College. So it's a point where a lot of times in the game of soccer, when a match gets to be 3-0, you kind of write it off. You feel like you know who's won the game. You've got 28 minutes to go. It's plenty of time, but if you're a fan of the team that has a 3-0 advantage, usually you're in good shape. But I think especially after what happened last year, Georgia College knows what they have to do to finish out this game. They put 22 shots on frame, 5 of those in the second half, 2 of which have found the back of the net.
It doesn't seem like that, but it's supposed to be 6.
Morris turning in the midfield. Jeffries on the back line. Deflected out of bounds. Goal kick here for Richardson.
But one time in high school, I held the ball for 45 seconds. And towards the end of a game, I would just, because like, if there's a lot of pressure on you, you lay on the ground. Typically, your 6 seconds is supposed to count when you get to possession. And I just laid on the ground until everybody got out of the box with the ball. And then I bounced it and rolled it around. And missed the ball.
GC in the midfield. Ball is off on the Bobcats. USC Aiken throw in. USC Aiken did have a solid week last week. They were 1-0-1. They beat Young Harris. They tied Georgia Southwestern. So because of that week, they put themselves in a position to possibly make the Peach Belt Conference tournament. They would need a fantastic comeback here today to try to improve their position. Right now they're standing in 9th. Again, they have to be in the top 8 to make the tournament. But on the Georgia College side, they're looking to be in a very good position to be, I believe, 5th is where they would move to. And yes, confirmation. They would head to 5th place should they win today. And that would be huge for Georgia College. It's been a bit of a building year under first-year head coach Tina Gallagher, but I think finishing in the top 5 in your conference is a great first step. Ellie Watson is in the game for Georgia College. That's her sliding the ball over to Becca Morris. It's cleared away by Raleigh. Ligon again, making herself a factor in the midfield. After her turnover, Olsen touches it ahead. It goes long out on the sideline. We'll have a throw in right where Kayla Ruiz is standing on the far sideline. Raleigh pushed over by Bergamini. Foul called on the player that, from a very tight angle tonight, scored Georgia College's first goal to open the scoring in the match. In Georgia College's most recent game, the Bergamini twins absolutely took over. They are from Connecticut, and the two of them are a dynamic duo. What they bring on the wings is pretty much unmatched in the Peach Belt Conference for a duo. When those two play together, they've got a connection. You can tell that obviously they've been playing together for a long time. Olsen gets a break right at the top of the 18. Good recovery there from Jeffries and Atkinson. It's one of USC Aiken's best opportunities of the second half. Took a spectacular recovery from Georgia College to prevent a shot being fired on Richardson. Watson into Bergamini. She tries to tap it ahead. Banks comes out. The play was well defended there from the center back. Looks like Tatiana Kwiatkowski. The two Bergaminis in Georgia College's last game, just to finish my point, Alexis Bergamini scored 2 goals within 11 minutes. Alyssa Bergamini then scored 8 minutes after Alexis's second goal. And all of a sudden, in about 30 or 35 minutes, you've got 3 goals between the twins. It's a 3-0 lead for Georgia College and got them well on their way to a 4-0 win after Cassie Balzano scored in the 71st minute. The ball goes out of bounds on that right side touchline. Throw in here from Buchanan of USC Aiken. Ross wide left on the left-footed shot. And now Renee Mike entering the match. She'll come in for Sophia Bonser. Mike from Trinidad and Tobago. For those who may not have caught the pregame ceremony, about 7 minutes before kickoff, they introduced all 3 seniors and talked about all their accomplishments and contributions to the program as normal, per usual on a senior night. Ball out of bounds, Georgia College ball. But for Renee Mike, one really cool thing that the Bobcats did, I thought it was a great tribute. First off, her family brought the flag of their country, Trinidad and Tobago, but also the national anthem from their country was played before the U.S. national anthem, right before we kicked off here. So I thought that was a cool gesture. You'll have Mike in the midfield. Seen her play a few times here on her home field, and now on senior night, number 3. It's good to see her. Renee Mikeson, I assume, will have Bailey Munnerlin in the game shortly, at least at some point. I believe we have not seen her. And now Renee Mike to Alyssa Bergamini. Morris has a bit of space, and it's wide left. Now another substitution for Georgia College. Ryan Smith now replacing Alyssa Bergamini. She'll play on the right wing. You saw a couple of crafty plays from her in the first half. Ross playing it to her right. USC Aiken looking to put forward a good attack. Referee says play on after Kayla Ruiz took out one of the Pacer players. And now Jeffries making a run all the way out of the back. Here's Ryan Smith. Jeffries involved in the attack here. Watson from the penalty spot. Saved by Maddy Banks. Vanden Bosch on the left sideline. It was a great opportunity, and can't give enough credit to Kai Jeffries. They tell players, take your space. Well, she was given a great deal of space all the way up the field. She took all of it. Didn't hesitate one bit. We've seen that seen that from her throughout the season. But well done. Well pieced together attack for Georgia College moving out of the back. You may be able to catch it on the camera, but we do have some light rain coming down here. Nothing the teams won't play through. We have had a couple of lightning delays this season, but we're hoping to not have one now. We've got 19 minutes to play here in the match. Watson. Alexis Bergamini. She looked to turn there. Good tackle there from Kwiatkowski. Ball lofted way over the goal from Kayla Ruiz. It's a solid spot. She had a yard or two of space there that she had to work with. Elected to take a quick shot that went over the bar. This is where, as the rain's been going for a little bit, the ball starts to get a little slipperier, or a little bit slippery, I should say. Lindsay Larissa into the match for USC Aiken. Ball gets a little bit slippery. The field conditions probably won't change too much unless we have some kind of drastic downpour here, but we may not. It doesn't seem like we will, according to the forecast that I've looked at. That could be a factor, especially for Georgia College and USC Aiken both, putting a combined 33 shots on. 24 of those have come from Georgia College, but USC Aiken still putting a good number of opportunities forth. That's where it gets a little tougher on the goalkeepers. So it is something to watch. That's why I note it. Alexis Bergamini is on sides. She tries to get a shot off with her left foot. It's off of Raleigh, out of bounds. And Georgia College will take a corner kick. Ellie Watson will take it. A substitution first.
The match for the Bobcats, the senior, number 2, Bailey.
Now the senior, number 2, Bailey Munnerlin, comes in for Georgia College. Looks like she took off Alexis Bergamini. She did. So now we have all 3 seniors on the field. Erin Ferris, Bailey Munnerlin, who wears number 2. Bailey almost got involved on that play. It actually might have hit off of her out of bounds. But Bailey number 2, Renee Mike number 3, Erin Ferris number 11. All 3 of their numbers tattooed onto the field on the near side. Always great on senior day, one of my favorite days of the year. Tripping foul called. Olsen quickly taking the free kick. It couldn't be kept in bounds there. Looked like Sigmund was the targeted player. The rain picking up a bit. We've got 15 minutes and 37 seconds and counting to play here in the game.
Back into the match for the Pacers, number 18, Summer Ricciardi.
The Pacers now bring in Summer Ricciardi, replacing Marissa Lee. Ricciardi last year played all 15 matches, started 7 of those. She did have an assist in the win over Georgia College. A lot of players returned from last year that contributed in big ways against Georgia College. One player today for USC Aiken that we haven't seen a ton of, Gressa Olsen. Expected to see more of her. She was in the starting lineup, but haven't called her name too much. Ryan Smith, one of Georgia College's top substitutions, passes it up to Ellie Watson. Watson blasts a beautiful ball over across the field. Ligon, a right-footed shot off the woodwork. GC retains possession. That's the space I was talking about. Again, just to quickly reiterate, there's enough space there for Georgia College. Ligon, a right-footed shot off the woodwork. Range. You have a player that's confident in doing that. GC retains possession. Now is a really good game to give it a go.
Change.
We've seen that from Georgia College. The players have recognized, okay, I may be 19 yards out. It's maybe not the highest percentage shot, but I've got a good look. It's an open window. GC has not scored off of a shot from that range, but they have been given those opportunities. The ball's off on the sideline. Ruiz will take a throw in. Rain getting heavier as we go. Now we're under 13 and a half to play in the match. Throw in now for the Pacers. Ball comes back to Richardson. She'll corral it. Richardson punts it away. Well, Georgia College on offense now with Ellie Watson holding the ball. That's been the key to their team all season. Renee Mike running onto that ball, trying to play it back over on the left side. The offense has been key for Georgia College. 8 of their 9 losses have come from being shut out. Ferris made a run there, got to about 20 yards away from the goal line before she had it taken away. But for GC, 8 of their 9 losses have come from shutouts. They've only scored in 1 game they've lost. So the key has really just been getting on the board. Watson puts a shot to the right. For GC, in all but 1 game, if they score, they win. They scored early, about midway through the first half, and now 3 substitutions here. Georgia College Sports Information Director Al Weston on the PA system told us we have a gaggle of substitutions here for USC Aiken. Yeah. That is quite a gaggle, Mr. Weston. No doubt. About 6 or 7 substitutions between the two teams. For Georgia College, a very notable one, Haley Titus is in goal. Titus is the backup goalkeeper. She has done well in relief of Richardson thus far. She's been in a lot of positions where she's closing out games where Georgia College has a nice advantage, a good cushion. They want to get her time and experience and help her develop. It's a good move by head coach Tina Gallagher, no doubt. Bailey Munnerlin on the left side. Munnerlin trying to get a 1-2 going there. Now she'll loop it in. Ryan Smith on the back post. Sprinting, keeps it in bounds. Renee Mike. The ball comes right across Ellie Watson. Couldn't quite get a touch on it. Mike knocks it out of bounds. Throw in here from Buchanan. We are through 80 minutes. Georgia College has held a shutout. They're looking for their 5th of the year. Lastly, had the pass intercepted. Good build up here from Georgia College. Munnerlin plays it to Ruiz on her left. The cross comes for Watson. Shot on and a goal for Ryan Smith. Ryan Smith scores off of a great play for Georgia College. Under 10 minutes to go in the game. Fantastic. Georgia College leads 4-0. That was GC's 28th shot of the match and their 4th goal. There's a great build-up. That's exactly what you want when your left back can get forward for a cross. That's exactly what you want. Good build-up here from Georgia College. Now here's another look at it. To Ruiz on her left. Ruiz crossing it in. Cross comes for Watson. Shot on and a goal for Ryan Smith. With a build-up here from Georgia College, I believe the Munnerlin plays it to Ruiz on her left. The cross comes for Watson. Shot on and a goal for Ryan Smith. Both come on for Georgia College. Build-up here. That goal from Smith, a nice infusion of energy into the environment here. It was raining still is raining, and has been for a good 15 minutes at this point. Energy level kind of has gone down overall, but then Smith scores that goal. Nice infusion here to our environment at Bobcat Field. Turned over by Buchanan. But talk about that build-up. I believe it was Munnerlin and Morris that were passing it around. They got that opening. Boom, you hit Ruiz. It comes in. And that finish. That's incredible. Great finish from Ryan Smith. Put it in a perfect place right under the bar. Tucked it right inside the goal, but just out of the reach of Banks, the goalkeeper. That build-up is exactly what you wanted, though. GC did a great job playing in space. Players moved off the ball very well. That's a great example of what happens when you get a player like Kayla Ruiz heavily involved in your attack. Now Bailey Munnerlin's over in the corner. But to see that play put together by a lot of players, about half of the players involved there are reserves for Georgia College. Mike with a long sliding shot. Bounces in front of Banks. GC's 29th shot. They're one away from 30. Would be their third 30-plus shot game of the year should they be able to put one more. Or should they be able to shoot one more. Watson. Foul called right at midfield. Now the clock has been stopped. 7 minutes and 23 seconds remain in this match. The center referee is now going over and talking to the Georgia College bench. The GC bench is on the right side of midfield. The opposing bench, which is the Usc Aiken bench for this match, is on the left side. So now, coming into the match, we will see.
To the match for the Bobcats, number 7, Carly Harriger.
Into the match, Carly Harriger for Georgia College. It was interesting the way the clock was stopped for that substitution. Harriger. Now the ball is into space for Brooke Adams. Banks with high clearance. Ellie Watson, 20 yards away from the goal line. Another good tackle from Raleigh. She's been one of USC Aiken's best players thus far. She's been very good in the one-on-ones. Vanden Bosch tripped up by Jeffries. Foul coming, or free kick coming about 3/4 of the way up the field for the Pacers. .366 seconds left in the match. Raleigh booms it over the bar. Haley Titus will take the goal kick. Titus, a freshman from Savannah, Georgia. Bears out of bounds now. A throw in. We're looking for Vanden Bosch. Ball won by Georgia College. It's Barham that won that ball. Now she tracks back to work on Vanden Bosch. Corner kick awarded to the Pacers. A quick note here, this senior night game was supposed to happen about 24 hours ago. This corner kick comes in, punched away by Haley Titus. Well done by the freshman. This game was supposed to be played yesterday. It was pushed back. Georgia College had a scheduling point where they would have had to play 3 games in a 5 day, especially when you're approaching the conference tournament. It can lead to injury, overtraining, fatigue, other types of issues. And in general, you just don't want to put your team through it. So head coach Tina Gallagher announced, I believe a little over a week ago, that she had come to an agreement with USC Aiken that they were going to push this game back a day. That helped out the Georgia College team a lot. You say it's just 1 day of rest, but that means a lot, especially in a game like soccer where you're out here for 90 minutes just constantly running. There's a lot of up and down, especially the style that this game has been played at. So it's been good for Georgia College, playing 3 games in 6 days now, to come out and look and be as energetic as they are. Watson, a shot to the left of the goal. Maybe not the highest quality look, but it is Georgia College's 30th shot. So they've done that 30-plus shots 3 times this season, all in conference play. And the non-conference, Georgia College is not the most inspiring offensively, but in conference play, they have been a lot better, which is why with a win today, their conference record will go to a dead even 500, 5-5-1, and secure a playoff spot, the 5 seed. So Georgia College took some time to adjust to their new coach, Tina Gallagher. I don't think their playing style was drastically different, but anyone that played sports, especially high-level soccer, would know that there's always an adjustment period with a new coach. So there was that period. GC got over it fairly quickly, I would say. I mean, in conference play, the team, right from the beginning, was very serious. They knew exactly what they wanted to do, how they were going to accomplish their goals, and get to be a top 5 team in the 12-team Peach Belt Conference. So now Georgia College, 2 minutes and 24 seconds away from clinching a playoff berth, moving on to the conference tournament. I talk about Coach Gallagher. She did coach here at Georgia College. She actually helped recruit and in the early stages of Cassie Balzano's career helped coach her. So they had a bit of a relationship with each other. Then for 3 years, Coach Gallagher went away, coached at Oglethorpe. Now she's back here as the Georgia College head coach. She was previously an assistant. But now that she's back, she's got a team led by Balzano. And now Haley Titus will take this goal kick. She switched it over from her left to her right side. Now the right-footed goal kick is headed on by Barham. When you look at senior day, you know you're going to miss, if you're Georgia College, you're going to miss your 3 seniors a lot. They've all made a lot of contributions on the field, off the field. We know what they've done. We've talked about it all day long. Here's Ferris on the right side for Georgia College.
1 minute remaining.
We're under a minute to go. Ferris loses possession. But you see the 3 seniors. Georgia College will miss them a lot. And we hate to see them go, but we're glad to see them move on to their futures. But if you have to look on the bright side, which we will here with 40 seconds to go, we've got a Georgia College free kick. But on the bright side, GC is returning 10 starters. They have a lot coming back. A lot of their top bench players will be back as well. So that is the bright side here. But first, this team has a conference tournament to play. They have outshot USC Aiken 32-11. Outpossessed the Pacers. And are 8 seconds away from a 4-0 win, but first, a bit of a breakaway here. Carragher couldn't get to it.
3, 2.
Or Harriger, I should say. The clock expires. We are through 90 minutes. Georgia College has shutout number 5 of the year. They move to a dead even 5-5-1 in the Peach Belt Conference. Now, Georgia College has clinched their spot, as you might hear through the PA system, in the Peach Belt Conference Tournament. USC Aiken will not be moving to the conference tournament. And we're not sure yet of what seed, but it can be as high as number 5 for Georgia College. That's what they're saying over the PA. So we appreciate you all tuning in on the Bobcat Broadcast Network. I'd like to thank our producer today, Thompson. Good build up here from Georgia College. Get this broadcast up and running. Plays it to Ruiz on her left. Senior day night. The cross comes for Watson. Shot on and a goal for Ryan Smith. For tuning in. Good build up here from. Best of luck as they enter the conference tournament.